Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of insights, all your sources, all your research, and we give you the shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're plunging into a truly fascinating clash, a real showdown between ancient, deep-rooted natural forces and the relentless consuming march of industrial destruction. We'll be viewing this through a surprisingly resonant lens, one that, frankly, offers some profound insights into our own world right now.
It really is. It's a journey that goes way beyond mere fantasy, I think. It unpacks how seemingly insignificant individuals can become these, well, unexpected catalysts for monumental change. And we'll also look at what happens when the very Earth, after long patience, finally decides it's had enough and pushes back. Our mission today is to extract those crucial nuggets from the material you provided, connecting the dots on themes of resilience, the profound value of patience, and the undeniable transformative impact of authentic firsthand testimony.
Right. Our goal today is to deeply explore how these immense ancient forces react when they're pushed to their breaking point, from that slow, careful deliberation to an unstoppable, decisive counterforce. And what enduring lessons this offers us about the nature of power, the dangers of unchecked industry, and most critically, about our often fraught relationship with the natural world itself. So let's begin our deep dive.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a place so old, so steeped in time, it feels less like a landscape and more like a vast, breathing memory. A place where history isn't just recorded in books, but is literally carved into the gnarled bark of every ancient tree, maybe echoing through every rustle of leaves. That's where our deep dive begins today. Fangorn Forest, a realm of ancient mystery, a world within a world.
What's truly captivating here is how Tolkien establishes this ancient world. It's not merely a dramatic or imposing backdrop, is it? It's like a living, breathing character in itself.
Yeah. This isn't just scenery for a story. It's an active participant. Its very essence shapes the unfolding drama. And this masterful stroke of world building isn't just poetic. It imbues everything that follows with this profound, almost geological weight, setting the stage for an epic confrontation that feels deeply personal, to the land itself.
Yeah. The sources describe Fangorn Forest in such vivid, almost tactile detail. It's portrayed as immensely old, shrouded in mystery, and, well, undeniably sentient. Tolkien's prose really paints a picture of a place where the ordinary rules of time just don't apply. Here, centuries are mere moments, millennia are remembered with a deep, wrestling sigh. It stands in such stark, almost defiant contrast to the hurried, frantic world outside its borders, a world obsessed with speed, instant gratification, immediate results. As you read the descriptions, you can almost feel that ancient, slow-burning energy seeping from its depths, a deep-seated consciousness that has observed countless ages.
And the significance of Fangorn's sheer age and its untamed wildness cannot be overstated. It's far more than just a collection of trees or a particularly large woodland.
Right.
It's a venerable, breathing entity, one that has witnessed empires rise and fall, absorbed the very essence of time, and cradled untold generations of life within its, verdant embrace. This deep history, this inherent ancient wisdom, it isn't just a descriptive detail. It's the very foundation for the Ents' unique perspective on existence. It makes the forest's eventual awakening and movement all the more potent, all the more impactful, transforming it from a static setting into a dynamic, active force. The forest itself functions as this vast collective memory, a silent sentinel, and ultimately a powerful actor in the drama.
And it's this unique characterization of Fangorn that sets up that profound symbolic weight for everything that is about to unfold, isn't it? It sort of suggests that what happens here isn't just a localized conflict, but a disruption of a deeply ancient natural order.
Precisely. Tolkien's genius lies in making the environment itself a character whose suffering is palpable. When Saruman's axes begin to fall, it's not just a resource being consumed, it's an ancient organism being wounded. This personification of nature elevates the conflict beyond mere military strategy into a moral and ecological struggle. It allows the reader, you, to connect with the land's plight on a deeper, almost empathetic level.
And within this ancient, watchful Fangorn, we encounter its most venerable inhabitant, a figure who really embodies the very spirit of the forest itself. Treebeard, the eldest of the Ents. The text portrays him as being more akin to a walking tree than a man, truly an organic extension of the landscape he stewards. He radiates this aura of immense geological age and a profound, unshakable wisdom. Tolkien takes great care with his introduction, detailing his deep, rumbling voice that sounds like ancient roots shifting beneath the earth, his hair, which appears more like moss and lichen, and his vast, imposing stature. All these physical and auditory characteristics emphasize his profound, undeniable connection to nature's slow but enduring strength. He isn't just old, he is the embodiment of oldness, of deep time.
Treebeard truly epitomizes nature's patience, doesn't he? An almost geological sense of time that operates on millennia rather than moments. His title, Shepherd of the Forest, is not merely a ceremonial label, but a core aspect of his being and his solemn responsibility.
Right.
His deliberate, patient, and profoundly thoughtful way of speaking, often punctuated by that deep hum and long pauses, as noted in the sources. It stands in stark, almost jarring contrast to the frantic, almost desperate, hurried pace of war brewing just outside the forest's ancient borders.
Such a contrast.
It is. This wisdom that moves slowly but decisively, that considers deeply and comprehensively before acting, is a core characteristic that we will see play out in monumental ways. It defines the Ents' unique, slow-burning response to the encroaching destruction, revealing a power born of profound consideration rather than impulsive reaction. He is a living testament to the power inherent in thoughtful, unhurried deliberation.
It's interesting how even his speech reflects that. It's not just slow, it's weighty, isn't it? As if every word has been considered for 100 years before being uttered.
Absolutely. His rhythmic, almost chanting speech, full of deep time and weight, as Tolkien describes it, it forces the reader, you, to slow down, to internalize that Entish pace. It makes him feel less like a conventional character with quick dialogue and more like a force of nature given form, a living embodiment of the forest's ancient, deep-seated consciousness. It's a brilliant literary device that pulls you into their worldview.
So, while Fangorn slumbers in its ancient, unhurried rhythm, a very modern and frankly terrifyingly destructive force is rapidly escalating nearby. The text vividly describes Saruman's deepening corruption and the alarming transformation of Isengard. It's no longer a place of ancient lore or a gentle guardian of wisdom. It has become this nightmarish, churning center of industry and machinery, a veritable factory of war. And critically, specifically highlighted throughout our sources, is his widespread, indiscriminate deforestation. He's not just using the trees for wood, he is consuming them whole, feeding the ancient living forest into the insatiable maw of his war machine. It's a graphic, almost visceral depiction of ecological destruction.
And here we see the stark tension immediately and powerfully established. Ancient, deeply rooted natural life versus modern, unchecked, destructive industry. This isn't just a geographical conflict, a simple border dispute over land. It's a fundamental ideological clash from the outset, a battle of profoundly different worldviews.
Yeah.
It profoundly underscores Tolkien's deep reverence for the natural world, for living green things. And conversely, his profound mistrust and indeed horror of unchecked industrial power. This specific tension, this conflict between the organic and the mechanical, between stewardship and ruthless exploitation, is not just a major theme throughout this deep dive, but a foundational element throughout much of Tolkien's broader work. It serves as a potent, embedded cautionary tale, not just about war, but about the cost of progress when it disregards the natural world.
It's more than just a philosophical difference, though, isn't it? The texts show Saruman actively defiling nature, twisting it to his own ends. The destruction isn't just collateral damage, it feels like a deliberate act of power and corruption.
Precisely. His actions are a perversion. Saruman doesn't just cut down trees, he burns them for fuel, pollutes the air with smoke, and digs deep into the earth, creating this barren, scarred landscape around Orthanc. He transforms once beautiful forests into grotesque factories, where sentient beings like the Ents once thrived. This isn't mere resource management. It's an act of deep ecological violence, stripping the land of its essence to create soulless instruments of war. It's a stark visual and thematic representation of what happens when unchecked ambition and mechanical efficiency entirely override reverence for life.
Here's where it gets really interesting. We have these ancient, slow-moving forces, these deep-rooted entities like the Ents, living on their own timeless rhythm. What then is the specific catalyst that finally stirs them into action? How does the vast, patient power of nature reach its breaking point? Our sources reveal that often it's from the most unexpected places, proving definitively that influence isn't always about brute strength or oppressive titles or high status. It's about something far more fundamental, something very human, or, well, in this case, very hobbit-like.
This raises an important question for you, our listener. Can seemingly insignificant individuals truly shift the tide of grand, overarching conflicts, especially when those conflicts involve powers vastly superior to their own? In a world that often values loud voices, visible power, and strategic might, our sources show us exactly how quiet integrity, direct experience, and simple truth can become the most potent, unexpected catalysts imaginable. It's a powerful idea that resonates far beyond the pages of a fantasy book, offering a hopeful counter-narrative to traditional power dynamics.
Let's focus on Merry and Pippin for a moment. They're such pivotal figures here, yet initially they're depicted in the texts as what are sometimes called small Tagalongs, or for a harrowing period, even as captives of Saruman's Uruk-hai.
Right.
There's a consistent emphasis placed on their humble origins, their relative lack of overt power, military training, or traditional authority. They're not mighty warriors, they're not wise wizards or ancient kings. They are simply two hobbits caught in events far larger than themselves. However, their journey, specifically their harrowing experiences as prisoners, witnessing the destruction firsthand, has given them this unique, invaluable perspective that virtually no one else possesses. They have seen things, experienced the brutal realities up close.
And it is precisely these direct, unfiltered experiences that make them uniquely qualified as crucial witnesses. They have firsthand knowledge, direct observation of Saruman's unfolding destruction and the brutal reality of his war machine.
Yeah.
And that direct, unmediated experience, as opposed to rumors, strategic reports, or secondhand accounts filtering through the usual political and military channels, is what gives their testimonies such immense weight and transformative impact for the Ents. It's the profound difference between hearing a story and having lived it. And that difference is what ultimately moves the immovable, patient Treebeard. Their very smallness, their lack of pretense or political agenda, in a way, makes their perspective even more powerful, as they are often overlooked yet privy to critical, unvarnished truths. They don't bring strategy, they bring reality.
It's almost as if their vulnerability and lack of power enhances their credibility, isn't it? They have nothing to gain but the truth to tell.
Exactly. The Ents, being ancient and slow, are interested in the truth of the matter, the direct impact on living things. They aren't swayed by grand rhetoric or political maneuvering.
No.
Merry and Pippin's unvarnished, terrified accounts cut through all that. Their testimony is a pure, unadulterated cry from the heart of the destruction, and that resonates deeply with the ancient guardians of nature. It's a powerful lesson in what constitutes true authority when it comes to bearing witness.
So what exactly did they tell Treebeard that had such a profound and lasting effect? Their story centered on Saruman's deep and pervasive corruption, detailing the full and terrifying transformation of Isengard into an industrial powerhouse, a place churning out instruments of war and desolation. And, crucially, they recounted the widespread, devastating deforestation they had witnessed, the systematic felling of trees, especially around Orthanc. This wasn't some abstract report for them. These were direct, visceral observations of destruction, sights, and sounds that had impacted them personally, leaving them traumatized. They weren't just relaying facts, they were bearing witness to a grievous wrong against nature itself.
And the authenticity and courage inherent in their accounts are paramount here. They're not just delivering information, they're delivering a heartfelt plea, almost a desperate cry, from those directly impacted by Saruman's reckless, unchecked actions. This directness, this unvarnished integrity of their eyewitness testimony, is precisely what makes their stories so potent and significantly so difficult for an ancient, patient being like Treebeard to ignore. It bypasses the usual filters of politics or strategic considerations and speaks directly to a deeper, more fundamental truth about the health and well-being of the natural world, a truth that the Ents, as its shepherds, are bound to protect. Their personal experience translates an abstract threat into a concrete, undeniable violation.
It's quite remarkable how the scale of their personal suffering translates into such a powerful, almost universal message. They're not describing a battle, but an assault on the very soul of the land.
That's precisely the point. The Ents understand the language of the land. When Merry and Pippin describe the trees being felled not just for building, but for burning, for the furnaces of war, it strikes at the core of their being. The hobbits articulate the suffering of the forest, something the Ents are uniquely attuned to. And this empathetic connection makes their testimony exponentially more effective than any strategic report of Saruman's military buildup could ever be.
And the effect of this testimony is immediate and profound. Treebeard, the eldest of the Ents, the one who moves with the deliberation of geological time, listens carefully to their story. The texts are incredibly clear. This interaction directly stirs Treebeard into action and, quite explicitly, nudges Treebeard toward war. This isn't a subtle shift in his demeanor or a gradual change of heart. It's an immediate, profound impact, a monumental turning point sparked by what is essentially a simple conversation between such disparate beings. The ancient guardian of the forest is awakened to a new, urgent reality.
And this interaction powerfully demonstrates how small voices, when they carry the weight of truth and direct experience, can spark one of the most decisive movements of the war. It's a truly profound idea that challenges our conventional understanding of power.
Yeah, it really does.
Knowledge, especially truthful, first-hand accounts delivered with courage and integrity, can be the truest form of power. A power capable of moving even ancient, patient beings like Treebeard and the Ents to profound, unexpected action. It proves that the physical scale or perceived status of the speaker doesn't dictate the scale of the impact, particularly when the truth being conveyed touches on fundamental values. The hobbits didn't convince Treebeard with logic alone, they stirred his deep-seated protective instincts.
It's a testament to the idea that sometimes the simplest, most honest truth can cut through layers of deliberation that more complex arguments just can't.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Think about the Ents. Their entire worldview is built on slowness, deep understanding, and connection to nature. They're not easily swayed by external forces.
Not at all.
But when presented with direct evidence of the destruction of their brethren, their purpose, their very reason for being is threatened. Merry and Pippin provided that undeniable, visceral evidence, transforming an abstract threat into an immediate personal crisis for the Ents. It was the crucial piece that shifted centuries of deliberation into active defense.
The conversations Merry and Pippin have with Treebeard do more than just ignite action. They fundamentally elevate Merry and Pippin beyond small tag-alongs. They are no longer mere followers, incidental characters, or even just captives in a grander narrative. They become participants in a pivotal turning point in the war, transforming their role entirely from passive observers to active, crucial agents of change. This is a complete redefinition of their place in the grand tapestry of Middle-earth, proving their worth and capacity to influence events.
And this is where Tolkien truly emphasizes the theme of small voices, big impact, showcasing that even individuals who do not wield swords or command armies, who possess no traditional markers of power like wealth, nobility, or military might, can instigate profound and transformative changes. They achieve this not through force or strategy, but through their honest testimony and unwavering integrity. It's a powerful message about the overlooked capacity for change that resides in every individual, regardless of their perceived status. It urges us as listeners, you, to actively question where true power lies and how it can be activated in the most unexpected and powerful ways, often by those whose voices are least heard.
So it's not just that they helped the Ents, but that the Ents' response sort of validated their own journey and experiences. They were seen, and their truth was heard, by the oldest beings in the forest.
Exactly. It's a mutual elevation. Merry and Pippin provide the spark, and in turn, their significance is recognized by beings of immense wisdom and age. This recognition itself is a form of empowerment, acknowledging that their unique perspective was not only valuable, but utterly essential. It underscores a key Tolkienian principle, that the most profound shifts in history can often hinge on the courage and integrity of the humble.
So what does this all mean for the ongoing story and for our broader understanding of power and change? The hobbits have lit a fuse, right? Presenting their urgent, authentic testimony to the ancient world. But how do these ancient forces, known for their incredible patience and deliberate nature, actually move from consideration, from deep, slow thought, to full-blown decisive action, to the ultimate commitment of war? It's a dramatic shift that speaks volumes about their character and the immense pressure they must have felt.
What's truly fascinating here is the process itself. It's not a hasty decision, not an impulsive emotional reaction to immediate provocations.
Oh, yeah.
Instead, it's a deeply rooted collective resolve that slowly, inexorably builds. This slow, weighted approach, this careful, profound consideration is absolutely key to understanding the Ents' eventual, truly unstoppable power. It's a force born not of speed or aggression, but of profound conviction, patience pushed past its breaking point, and a collective ancient will.
Stirred so profoundly by the Hobbit's testimony, Treebeard makes a momentous decision. He calls an Entmoot. The texts describe this as a gathering of Ents, specifically convened to carefully deliberate their course of action. This is no quick meeting, no hurried war council with rapid-fire decisions. This is a profound, unhurried assembly, a process that reflects their ancient, patient nature in every single step, often lasting for days, even weeks. It's a model of extreme, deliberative democracy, almost.
Indeed, the Ents are fundamentally characterized by their deliberate and patient nature, taking an incredibly long time, often described as days and nights and days, to reach decisions. This deep, almost geological slowness stands in sharp contrast to the hurried pace of war, typical of other factions and races, where time is always pressing. The sources highlight that this deliberate, unhurried process ensures that their decisions carry significant weight and are truly unanimous, emphasizing what Tolkien explicitly refers to as the value of patience. They are not swayed by fleeting emotions, by short-term political pressures, or by immediate tactical advantages. Instead, their actions are born of deep, considered collective judgment, ensuring that once a decision is made, it is absolute and unwavering. It's a model of decision-making that prioritizes wisdom and profound understanding over mere expediency or speed.
It's a striking image, isn't it? These ancient beings standing for days listening, debating, humming. It sounds incredibly ponderous, but also incredibly thorough.
It is. Tolkien deliberately portrays the Entmoot as a process that's almost painful in its slowness to other races. But this slowness is their strength. It ensures that every angle is considered, every voice heard, and that when a decision is finally reached, it's not a temporary consensus, but a deep-seated collective conviction. It suggests that true, lasting action often requires this profound, unhurried foundation, a stark contrast to the often disastrous haste of human conflicts. It's a testament to the idea that some decisions are simply too monumental to be rushed.
But once the Ents do reach a resolution, once that patient, profound deliberation spanning days and nights is complete, our sources state unequivocally that they act with unstoppable force. They decide, with unified and ancient purpose, to march against Saruman, a moment vividly described as one of the most powerful in the Two Towers. This isn't just a decision to engage, it's a monumental shift from stillness, from centuries of peaceful shepherding, to an overwhelming, moving power that will brook no opposition. The earth itself begins to move.
This march is far more than just a military maneuver, a simple movement of troops on a battlefield. It's a profound symbol, a living, moving metaphor that resonates deeply throughout the narrative.
Yeah.
It's explicitly described as the earth itself rising to confront corruption and exploitation. Fangorn's trees, those ancient sentinels who have been long silent and still, are explicitly stated as being stirred into wrath. The Ents, in this moment, don't just act for nature. They embody nature's ancient strength and its eventual pushback against reckless, destructive industrialization in a way that is both literal trees walking to war and deeply metaphorical, the very land asserting its will. It's the ultimate environmental reclamation, the land itself fighting back with a fury born of ages of watching and enduring.
The images in the text are incredible. We're not just talking about a few large trees, are we? It's a forest on the move, tearing apart stone, diverting rivers. It's truly a force of nature unleashed.
Absolutely. The descriptions are vivid. The cracking of stone walls under their immense strength, the unleashing of the Eisen River to flood Saruman's delves, turning his engines of war into sodden, useless relics.
Amazing.
This isn't just an army. It's a living landscape reshaping itself, overwhelming Isengard with elemental power water, earth, and the sheer unyielding force of ancient wood. It illustrates that when nature finally pushes back, it doesn't just win, it reclaims and reshapes the very ground.
The Ents' march on Isengard, therefore, is presented as not just another battle in a sprawling war, but something far more significant and almost primal. It's described as nature itself rising to reclaim balance.
Yes.
This reframes the entire context of their actions, shifting it from mere revenge or tactical advantage to a cosmic restoration, a fundamental righting of what has been grievously wronged. It's a powerful reassertion of a natural order that has been brutally disrupted.
This transformative event unequivocally underscores Tolkien's, quote, deep reverence for the natural world and his profound mistrust of unchecked industrial power. The final image of the Ents mobilizing is described as being both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a testament to the incredible latent power that lies beneath their slower, deliberate rhythm. It's a powerful illustration of nature's inherent capacity to eventually push back with an unstoppable, inexorable force when it's been pushed too far, when its very being has been threatened with exploitation and destruction. The goal isn't just to defeat Saruman, but to mend the earth, to reestablish the balance that industrial greed so ruthlessly shattered.
And after the battle, the image of Isengard, no longer a factory but a flooded, reforested valley, is just as powerful. It's as if the land heals itself slowly, deliberately, just like the Ents.
Indeed, the Ents don't just destroy Saruman's works, they facilitate the Earth's reclamation. Isengard, once a monument to industry and desolation, becomes a symbol of nature's regenerative power, transformed into a lake and a fertile, if still wild, valley. This act of healing the land, of returning it to a state where things can grow, reveals their ultimate goal isn't punitive destruction, but the restoration of harmony and the reestablishment of a natural equilibrium. It's a testament to the fact that while nature can unleash destructive power, its fundamental drive is towards life and balance.
Beyond the immediate action and the epic struggle we've just explored, this deep dive reveals these profound themes woven into the very fabric of Tolkien's story, offering rich commentary that extends far beyond Middle-earth itself. These aren't just elements of a captivating fantasy tale, they are incisive reflections on timeless human struggles, urgent ecological warnings, and profound philosophical insights that resonate deeply today.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Tolkien isn't just telling a captivating story with heroic quests and mythical creatures. He's engaging in a much broader conversation. He's commenting on universal values and timeless human struggles that remain incredibly relevant, especially in our own age, where we grapple constantly with information overload, rapid technological change, and pressing environmental concerns. He's asking us to think differently about power, patience, and the very purpose of our existence on this planet.
Our sources explicitly state that Saruman represents reckless industrialization. He's not just utilizing resources, he's devouring them, specifically cutting down ancient forests to feed his machines of war and fuel his insatiable drive for power. This is a very direct and clear portrayal of a destructive, consumptive force, one that sees nature not as a living entity to be cherished and stewarded, but as mere raw material, an inert resource to be exploited and discarded for immediate gain. It's a chillingly familiar modern dilemma, isn't it?
It is. And the Ents, in direct fundamental opposition, embody nature's ancient strength and its eventual pushback. This serves as a powerful and enduring allegory for environmental destruction and the inherent resilience of the natural world when confronted with such exploitation.
Right.
It highlights the profound tension between two fundamentally different ways of interacting with the world. One characterized by careful stewardship, respect for inherent value, and the pursuit of balance. The other driven by domination, consumption, and a relentless pursuit of efficiency at any cost. It's a conflict that continues to play out in our own societies on a global scale, making Tolkien's narrative feel incredibly prescient. He's not just writing about fantasy, he's writing about a core human challenge.
It's interesting how Tolkien doesn't just portray industry as bad, he portrays it as ugly and polluting.
Yeah.
The beauty of the Shire is contrasted so starkly with the scarred lands around Isengard.
Absolutely. The aesthetic dimension of industrialization is key to Tolkien's critique. It's not just the destruction of trees, but the ugliness of the machines, the smoke, the defilement of water, the replacement of living green things with steel and stone and poison.
Ugh.
This reflects his personal distress over the industrialization of the English countryside and the loss of natural beauty. The Ents March, then, isn't just about resource protection. It's about preserving the intrinsic beauty and harmony of the world. Hashtag Fee 4.2. The value of patience and deliberation.
The Ents, as we've discussed repeatedly, move slowly. They are not creatures of haste, impulse, or short-term thinking, but this slowness is not a weakness. It's in fact a different kind of strength, a profound advantage. Their deliberate nature ensures their decisions carry immense weight and are not easily swayed by fleeting circumstances or external pressures. It's a power that comes from deep consideration, from a wisdom that accounts for long stretches of time rather than quick, often short-sighted reactions.
This value of patience is a crucial contrast, a direct counterpoint to hasty human conflicts that often lead to rash decisions, unintended consequences, and ultimately dire outcomes. It powerfully suggests that true wisdom and truly effective action, particularly for decisions of immense, far-reaching consequence decisions that impact ecosystems and entire civilizations, sometimes require profound thought, extensive collective deliberation, and a long-term, almost geological perspective. It's a powerful argument for slowing down, for deep consideration, for taking the time to truly understand the implications of our choices, rather than succumbing to impulsive, short-sighted reactions driven by immediate pressures.
It makes you wonder how many modern problems could be mitigated if we, as societies, adopted even a fraction of that entish deliberation, doesn't it?
It does. We live in an age that constantly rewards speed and immediate action. But Tolkien, through the Ents, offers this powerful counter-narrative that the truly profound, lasting solutions often emerge from patient consideration. It's a challenging idea, perhaps, for our fast-paced world, but one that certainly gives pause for thought regarding our approach to complex global issues, from climate change to social policy.
The sources continually circle back to this incredibly resonant idea that Merry and Pippin, despite not wielding swords or commanding armies, were the ones whose authentic, personal testimony sparks one of the most decisive movements of the war. It's a powerful, enduring reminder that impact isn't always tied to traditional power structures, to titles, wealth, physical might, or even strategic genius. Sometimes the most profound changes are sparked by simple, unvarnished truth delivered with courage.
This theme offers a particularly potent message for you, our listener. Even without overt power or established status, authentic accounts, delivered with courage and integrity, can instigate profound, transformative changes. It encourages us to question our assumptions about who can truly make a difference in the world and to actively value the honesty and perspective of those who might seem, on the surface, insignificant. What makes this even more potent for the Ents is their deep-rooted nature. They are not susceptible to the political machinations or the grand pronouncements that might sway human leaders. They respond to direct, visceral truth, to the suffering of the living world. And Merry and Pippin, as innocent bystanders caught in the devastation, were uniquely positioned to deliver that truth without agenda. It's a call to listen more carefully to all voices, but especially to those who bear firsthand witness to injustice or destruction.
And it really hammers home the idea that sometimes the greatest bravery isn't in fighting, but in simply telling your story, even to beings as ancient and formidable as Treebeard.
Absolutely. Their heroism isn't martial, it's moral. Their integrity in reporting what they saw, even when it put them in a vulnerable position, was the true catalyst. They offered clarity in a world filled with conflicting reports and half-truths, and that clarity was what the Ents, in their deep deliberations, truly needed.
Our sources also delve into Tolkien's masterclass in pacing. After chapters filled with breathless urgency, frantic escapes, and immediate danger, he dramatically slows the tempo in the chapters featuring Treebeard and Fangorn. This literary choice isn't accidental or simply a break in the action, it's a deliberate, brilliant structural decision. It directly reinforces the themes, allowing readers, you, to literally feel the patience of Fangorn itself. You're not just reading about slowness, you're forced to inhabit that slower, more deliberate rhythm, mirroring the Ents' own ancient pace, making their eventual acceleration all the more impactful.
And this slower rhythm, as noted, is ingeniously deceptive. It precisely hints at the immense power that lies beneath the surface of these ancient beings, building anticipation and weight through delay. Furthermore, Treebeard's unique rhythmic speech, described as full of deep time and weight, makes him feel less like a character and more like a force of nature given form. His frequent and the long, rolling sentences that seem to stretch across ages aren't just quirks. They are linguistic devices that immerse the reader in his unique perspective of time. This brilliant and deliberate use of craft of language, narrative structure, and narrative pace elevates the entire narrative, making the thematic messages even more impactful, more memorable, and deeply ingrained in the reader's experience. It's a testament to how the how of storytelling can be just as powerful as the what.
It's like the narrative itself breathes at an Entish pace for a while, isn't it? It's a unique reading experience that truly underscores the deep-seated patience of Fangorn.
Exactly. It's an immersive literary experience. The very act of reading those chapters becomes an exercise in patience and deep thought, preparing the reader for the monumental shift when that patience finally breaks. It's a masterclass in how to make the reader feel the world, not just observe it.
What an incredible deep dive into the heart of Middle-earth and what it tells us about the enduring power of nature, the critical, catalytic role of seemingly insignificant individuals, and the profound, far-reaching consequences of unchecked ambition. It's a story that resonates across centuries and speaks directly to the challenges and choices of our modern world.
This raises an important question for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
In an age of rapid change, constant news cycles, and overwhelming information overload, where do we find our Entmoot moments, those precious spaces for genuine deliberation and thoughtful consideration before acting?
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps even more importantly, what small voices should we be listening to more carefully? Voices that might be bringing us crucial firsthand testimony of overlooked truths or unfolding destruction. The sources show us unequivocally that the authentic account, patiently considered, can move mountains, or in this case, entire ancient forests.
We've seen how ancient natural forces, once stirred to action after long deliberation, move with an unstoppable power that reclaims balance and reasserts its fundamental order. We've explored how seemingly insignificant individuals, by simply speaking their truth, can be the unexpected catalysts for grand, transformative events, proving that true influence often comes from the most unexpected places. And we've truly appreciated Tolkien's deep reverence for the natural world and his profound mistrust of unchecked industrial power, a mistrust that feels more prescient than ever as we confront our own ecological dilemmas.
Remember, the story of the Ents and the Hobbits is a powerful reminder that even the slowest, most patient forces in the world can eventually be awakened. And that balance, once lost through reckless exploitation and disregard, will inevitably seek to reclaim itself, often with a force that far outweighs the perceived power of those who caused the imbalance. Nature, in its own deliberate time, always has a way of pushing back.
So, as you go about your day, consider this provocative thought drawn directly from our sources. The Earth itself can rise to confront exploitation. How much of our modern world still relies on the hope, perhaps a deeply misguided and false hope, that nature will passively absorb the impact of our actions, that it will simply endure without consequence forever? And what profound lessons can we draw from the Int's unstoppable force about the ultimate, inevitable consequences of unchecked industrialization and our own responsibility in listening to the small voices that warn us of the impending cost? Something truly worth mulling over as you navigate your own world and the decisions you face within it. Me